Hey everybody, it's John from the Hustle Daily Show. Before we get into the show today, did you know that HubSpot launched an AI chatbot that helps you build awesome campaigns at scale with just a few prompts? It's called Campaign Assistant, and it's a totally free-to-use AI tool made for marketers and business leaders who spend hours a day on content creation. Campaign Assistant will transform the way that you build marketing campaigns at scale. Craft personalized emails, ads, and landing pages in just a matter of minutes. Just pick the content type, add the key selling points, and let the AI take it from there. And the best part, it works seamlessly with all of HubSpot's marketing and sales tools to scale your output across email, social, and more. So AI your way into the most effective campaigns yet at HubSpot.com/campaign-assistant.
Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, June 30th. We are on the verge of 4th of July weekend. I'm Mark Dent, here with Ben Berkley, and you're listening to the Hustle Daily Show. Today, we're going to be talking about how the food industry is taking notice of Americans who are having a really tough time falling asleep. These companies are ramping up production on new sleep-aiding snack lines. But before we get to that, we're going to go through everything else happening in the world of business and tech. First off, it's always a big day in AI, but yesterday was a really big day. It was announced that Typeface, an AI-powered content creation startup, secured $100 million in funding. Another AI startup, Runway, announced it received $141 million in funding. But topping them all is AI's wildest investment round, or at least one of the wildest we've heard of yet. This round comes from personal assistant maker Inflection AI. This company, which says it has a goal of giving everyone in the world a personal assistant, raised $1.3 billion. Also in the world of AI, Microsoft said it's ready to roll out AI-made shopping guides. That means if you search camping on Bing, you'll see an AI-generated product list recommending things like tents and sleeping bags. The only holdup, it's still unclear whether anyone uses Bing. In other news, the venerable nature magazine National Geographic, which has been published for 135 years, cut 17 editorial roles, a number that includes all of its staff writers and its entire podcast staff. The magazine now has 0 staff writers. Meanwhile, new Twitter CEO Linda Yaccarino warned her team that their work is going to require, quote, hand-to-hand combat to bring advertisers back into the fold after a lot of them left fleeing Elon Musk's brand of chaos. This is certainly not wrong, but it is an interesting word choice considering that Elon Musk has been training with an MMA fighter and may have a potential bout coming up with Mark Zuckerberg. And finally, Virgin Galactic safely completed its first commercial spaceflight, and there's much more to come. The company has sold 800 tickets for future flights. You can join them if you want to, but it'll cost you $450,000. All right, on to our big story, which is about snacking before bedtime. That, of course, has long been a no-no across the world. But people are having a really tough time falling asleep these days. Companies are trying to do new things, et cetera, and all of a sudden we got a whole new industry. Ben, what's going on? What is causing this new kind of industry to get started?
Well, Mark, this may be really hard for you to believe as someone who plainly gets just an excessive amount of beauty sleep. But as you're mentioning, there are so many people who are having a hard time hitting the hay. I think we'll start with just the numbers, just kind of talk about why this is happening.
Yeah.
I think you can look at studies that are saying that about half of Americans today are having challenges falling asleep. And that has really gone up since the pandemic. The American Psychological Association said they've been tracking a rise in sleep disorders. I think about 2/3 of people now surveyed were either sleeping too much or too little. And all of that kind of leads into this expanding market of sleep aids. Globally, you're looking at about a $64 billion industry in 2021. That's according to Polaris market research. And then that's only going to go up. You've got another market research firm, Allied Market Research, which thinks that's bound to double by the end of the decade. They think the value of the sleep aid market will be around $112 billion by 2030. So as to your question as to why this new class of products is stepping into the void, Well, there it is. There's a lot of opportunity here.
And we're talking not just melatonin opportunity,
Correct.
which I feel like we could do like a whole podcast on with how many people are using that now.
Yes.
But it's something else. It's snacks. It's food that may help people fall asleep.
Yeah, I think look at something like Sweet Dream cereal, which comes from Post, a cereal titan. Now they have a product that you are meant to eat at bedtime, and it helps to set you down. I think, you're looking at various cookies. There's a company called Night Food, which produces treats like cookies and ice cream. And you're looking at ingredients like tryptophan, which we all know around Thanksgiving time,
Yes,
ends up putting you down pretty quick. So this is something where you're seeing just a whole new category setting in. And in the food world, there's talk of this being the new fourth meal to the day, which is, as you're mentioning, this is a bit of a taboo thing, eating before bed.
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to have an uphill challenge, but people are definitely needing the help getting to sleep.
It does seem a little forbidden or whatever to have a fourth meal. Taco Bell obviously should have trademarked that. Maybe they have. But I feel like there's still a lot of people who do eat right before they go to bed, including myself sometimes. So is that who these products are for? I mean, there maybe is a market already.
Yeah, I think that's exactly who this is going for. I think there are people who are, if you look at, say, the CBD industry has been trying to take advantage of this market opportunity where people really are hoping that their snacks, their beverages can help them do various things like, find focus and energy and relaxation. And now I think that you're just going to find that going in for sleep. And there are a lot of people who are looking for any edge they can get because I don't know about you, if I don't sleep so great, I'm not working so great. And so I think that this is something that is bound to only continue being expanded upon, especially if you find that breakthrough product that suddenly helps people sleep. Then I'm sure you'll see everyone. Kellogg will get on with their sleep cereal the second that Posts really go. General Mills, they're waiting. I'm sure there's something in development right now. So this is going to be a really interesting market to watch.
Yeah. Does anybody think these work? Like, is there any indication that Sweet Dream cereal actually might help you fall asleep?
Those companies would tell you they work.
Right.
Whether or not they actually do, I'm sure results vary like any other product.
Yeah. And it does seem like there have been plenty of studies that show eating like an entire Thanksgiving meal, maybe other than the tryptophan, before you go to bed is certainly not good, but maybe a little bit is okay and potentially even helpful.
Yeah, I think that's the hope. And I think we're going to see what happens. There are a lot of studies that are also going on around this right now. I know they're looking into, does rice bran help improve sleep? Obviously, melatonin is continuing to be researched. What role does vitamin D play? And so I think that as there's more research being done in this area, you'll also just continue to see different things tested out. And again, once you finally have that breakthrough product, I think you're going to see this everywhere, trying to get you to indulge between dinner and bed.
Well, the purists know that we already have that product, and it is Taco Bell.
Amen.
So anyway, thank you, Ben. That'll do it for us today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clarke. We've got a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go get yourself signed up at thehustle.co/email. I hope everybody enjoys a nice long weekend, which we will also be taking. So we will catch you next week.
Let me tell you about a show that I've been loving lately. It's called Entrepreneurs on Fire. It's hosted by the incredible John Lee Dumas. It's available now on the HubSpot Podcast Network. Entrepreneurs on Fire stokes inspiration and shares strategies to fire up your entrepreneurial journey and create the life that you've always dreamed of. I'm a big fan of this podcast. It has energy, it has value, and it's all about learning about entrepreneurship. I was just listening to an episode the other day. JLD interviewed Jay Rogers, who was such a wealth of information. He kind of went into how entrepreneurship chooses you. You don't necessarily choose it, and that failure only happens when you stop trying to win. A lot of gems in this one, so I highly recommend checking out that particular episode along with the rest. So go listen to Entrepreneurs on Fire wherever you get your podcasts. Hey guys, if you listen to the Hustle Daily Show on Google Podcasts, we want to let you know that the option will no longer be available pretty soon. Google is sunsetting its podcast app sometime in early 2024 in favor of YouTube Music, and we want to give you a heads up before it's too late, since that time's almost here. The Hustle Daily Show is available everywhere and anywhere that you listen to podcasts, like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're using YouTube Music, we are there as well. If you're an Android fan, there are plenty of apps like Overcast, Pocket Casts, Player FM, and more. So just search for us wherever you decide to listen to your favorite podcasts.